This lesson is on the volume of pyramids and cones. Volumes of a pyramid follow the same basic patterns as prisms and cylinders did in the last lesson. The only difference is, since pyramids and cones go up at a slant instead of going straight up, they aren't going to have as much volume as their prisms and cylinders counterparts. So the only difference is, instead of taking the area of your base times your height, you only get 1/3 of that volume. So you take the area of the base times the height, like we did for the volume of a prism or a cylinder, and we multiply it by 1/3 or divide it by 3. Okay. So the area of the base is still what we put in the parentheses. So in this case, we would take 4 times 6, which would give us the area of our base, and then we would take that times our height, and then we would multiply it by 1/3. Some people prefer to say multiply by 1/3. Some people prefer to say divide by 3. It makes no difference. It's exactly the same thing. So 1/3 times 24 times 8 would be how we would get the volume of this pyramid, which would give us 64. And we're still talking volume, so we're still using cubed units. In this case, we have another pyramid. To find the volume, again, we have to take the area of our base. The base in this case is a triangle, so we will do 1/2 base times height of the base. So we will do 1/2 8 times 4 times the square root of 3. That will give us the area of our base. And then we will take that times 12, because that's the height of the pyramid. Don't use the slant height, use the regular height. And then we will take 1/3 of that. So the area of our base, when we took 1/2 times 8 times the square root of 4 times the square root of 3, that was 27.7. The height was 12, and then we do 1/3 of that. Since it goes up into a point, instead of going straight up, we only get 1/3 of the volume. So for an answer, when we multiply that all out, we get about 110.8, and it would be cubed units still, since it's volume. Cones work basically the same way. The only thing that's different is we know what the shape of our base is going to be, so we don't have to use parentheses to remind us to use a different area formula. We know we're going to use pi r squared since our shape is always going to be a circle. For finding the volume of a cone, we only need the radius of the circle and then the height, again, of the cone. If they don't give us the height, for example, if they hadn't given us 10 here and they gave us something else, we could use the Pythagorean theorem in order to find the height. So in this case, we would do pi times 5 squared times 10, and we would take that times 1/3. So 1/3 times pi times 25 times 10, and that would give us a volume of 83.3 pi, which would be our exact answer. Or we would multiply that out and get 261.8 cubed units. Make sure that you are using the height, not the slant height. That's going to be very key for these. Okay, same thing here. We need to know the radius and the height. We can see that the height is 12. The radius in this circle, they give us the diameter so that we know our radius would be half of that. So our radius is going to be 6.5. So we're going to take pi times 6.5 squared times 12. 6.5 squared is 42.25. So we'll do 1/3 times 42.25 times 12. And that will give us 169 pi, or if we rounded it out, it would be 530.9 cubed units. Those are the last two of our volume formulas, and that completes this lesson. Your homework is as follows.